everyone, and welcome to the Silent Hill Ascension pre-show. As usual, your host here, Eduardo, joined by Noah today. And Noah, if you could run our audience through today's run of show.
I would love to, Eduardo. Thank you. Hi, everybody. So right now, if production could show that on screen, we have our pre-show. That's 5:40 p.m. Pacific on Wednesdays, on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. Today we're on Wednesday. Then we have the show at 6 p.m. Pacific on every weekday. And then post shows after that on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. So stick around. Eduardo, what else do I have here?
Well, that's the thing, right? We got the interview with Jacob just after today as a little bit of a special treat for all of you, the audience at home. That'll be in the post show. We'll break that down as we go. But remember, folks, Silent Hill Ascension. You know, I love to say it, the socially interactive streaming series where all of you collectively shape and experience its ever-evolving story. You're going to collaborate and compete with others to try to make the choices you want to see occur. Now, when each decision ends, the choice you make locks in as canon. That's the version of the show everyone sees. That canon story is shaped by you, the audience, every day. Now, here's the thing. We're going to set the scene today because today is very, very much about our saddled wet man, Carl. Our setup scene video production is going to put that up in a bit so you can get up to speed. Carl goes to Leho for advice and comfort in the wake of learning about Eva's plans. We'll let you see that, and we'll see you in a little bit.
Remember that bear a few years back?
The one who attacked us?
I always wondered what would have happened if I didn't let you pull the trigger.
You would have gotten mauled.
It was a mother bear with her babies.
It was tragic, but that's what happens when you get between a sow and her cubs. She will rip you apart to protect them, and I had to protect you.
Yeah. I suppose you did.
That was years ago. What's making you think about it right now?
It's just... wait, hang on.
I found them. A lot of them.
Ava, slow down. Where?
The memorial downtown. They followed me here.
Hang on. I will be right there.
I'm going to kill them.
Wait for me.
Carl, what's going on?
Ava, I said wait for me. I'll meet you at the memorial.
Ava? Papa, where are you? Are you at the memorial?
Oh, hey, Astrid. Just having a drink at Leo's. Everything okay?
I think you should come home.
No. There's something I need to do first.
Do what?
I love you, Astrid. No matter what happens, I want you to know that. Okay? Tell me that you know that.
Papa, why are you talking like that? You're scaring me.
I have to go now, Angel.
Papa, wait!
Welcome back, everybody. I hope you enjoyed seeing that scene again, just to kind of give you that context, because the thing is, we're going to have to take a moment here to discuss the story so far, especially as today we're gearing up to the results of Carl's final fate decision. So, Noah, if you could set the scene for us, right? We're at the ice bar. Personally, we're actually at the ice bar, right? We just saw Carl walking out the door. What happened there? Did you hear what he was on? He was on the phone there.
I was eavesdropping, so I did hear he was talking to Leo, and Leo's his homie. He killed a bear for him, turns out. He was gonna get mauled by a bear. It was a mama bear, but brave Leo killed the mama bear anyway. Now, Carl is dealing with a lot of things. He's processing in the bar with his homie, and then he gets a call from Eva, and she, y'all know how Eva can be creepy, and she delivered this time too. She's like, I saw the monsters, I'm gonna kill them. And to be continued. I'm nervous.
I mean, that's the thing, right? The decision's playing out tonight. We got 18 minutes left on it. Currently, a rally on suffering, which is the most behind option with redemption, winning by a solid margin. But there's not that many influence points, right? If somebody really wanted divination to get there, I'm sure. Actually, if somebody really wanted suffering to get there, you could probably get that managed as a community. But anyways, the big thing here, right, for me was he's like gets the call from Eva and then redials, and then like Astrid picks up the phone, and it's never good. When your parent is like, "Don't worry, no matter what, I love you," you're like, "Oh no, this is not good."
That's sus, and really, you can feel the tension build up here. And I really do feel bad for Carl. Like whenever he's having a moment of grace, it never lasts more than just a brief moment of just catching up with a friend, talking about the bear that almost killed you. Just something light.
Yeah, like memories, like, do you remember when that bear also small to you? Yeah, that was the good times.
A bit of small talk, bar talk. Yeah. But he can't even have that.
No.
Because he has to hang out with creepy old Eva and his daughter Astrid, who's pretty much she's on her last straw. I don't know how she's gonna keep going. But yeah, we do have the decision tonight, right? So this is a big one.
No, yeah, that's going to be up on screen. Our production team's going to put that graphic, the decision closing this day. A lot of you are aware of it, but just in case you weren't, it's closing in about 16 minutes. If you could read essentially what's being decided today.
Right, so we have to decide how will Carl handle Eva's plan to save the town. Fate, notice it is important. We will close this soon. But he could defend her from the monsters, which would be the redemption option, or B, stop her, which would be the suffering option, or C, encourage her, which would be the domination option. So none of this sounds good, to be honest, because all of this involves getting in between Eva and the monsters, and I don't like any of that, to be honest.
No, that's totally fair. Like the thing right here is, by the way, we have fans in chat of Smiling Carl, which is clearly a damnation Carl here. But no, you're right. None of this sounds good, right? But like Carl, it feels like something's going down, right? And I mean, we're burying the lead. It's a final fate decision, so something is going down, and that something is tonight. Like you're gonna see that. It's not a spoiler. When it says final fate, something important's gonna come down as an audience. That's kind of your red alarm bell. If you're a fan of Carl, this is your moment to shine. Whether you're a fan of seeing Smiling Carl or Clear and Somber Carl or Saddlewed, whichever version of Carl you want to see, the audience get to choose what that's gonna look like, right? Because that's the thing is, you, the audience at home, are essentially the masters of destiny in terms of what's going to happen in the story. And but like here, Noah, like stopping her, like the suffering options in between, but like defending her from the monster is kind of an interesting redemption option here.
Right. How are we going to defend her from the monsters now? Is he going to use his rifle? What's he going to do? I don't know. Does he have some kind of... one time, I remember long ago, Leo gave him runes, remember? To protect his farm from the... maybe he's gonna rune them out.
He's gonna use the runes.
Rune them off when he defends her. Right. So maybe something like that. Stop her would be the suffering option, which I assume would mean I can imagine the monsters, are not being stopped. Eva is being stopped. So I can see how suffering can incur from that option, right?
No, that's for sure.
And then
right.
You have to encourage her.
Yeah, no, encouraging her is.
Yeah.
How creepy Eva is. I mean, that's always a debatable choice, I guess. But no, for sure here, it's a tough thing, right? But actually, Noah, one of the things, right, is Carl's overarching art, right? His fate and hope is coming to a head here. Could you remind our audience kind of how that works?
Right. So as some of you know, and if you don't, welcome. So the decisions and the endurance scenes and the puzzles, all of those contribute to whether a character will face redemption, suffering, or damnation in the Grand Silent Hill Ascension final. So their fate is decided across the length of the season, and the character's hope has to be high enough for them to survive a crucial story moment. So this is exactly right here what we're talking about. Let's talk about this, Eduardo.
Yeah, of course. Like the thing here, right, is I can pull up, essentially, you can see this as well. When you look at Carl, his hope is positive and redemption, right? But I actually want to take a moment to talk about another character, ripped to a grade 1, Toby Sorelli, right? One of the big differences is, for me, on the hope, right? Both of those characters were on kind of this redemption path, but the hope was different. And part of that is that Toby kind of was early on in the show, like, you know, sacrificed himself, and that's kind of it. Again, ripped to a grade 1. But like Carl had a bit more time. Carl's moments took a bit of time, right? In Norway, you know, it took a bit of time to warm up. It took a bit of time to get to it. So as a result, the audience had more time to do those puzzles, to get those endurance scenes, right? They learned, they got, you at home, on average, managed to make that more successful. So as a result, Carl's hope is positive, and that's going to lead to potentially, you know, something a little bit different than what happened to Toby.
Right. So, you know how we said Toby could have had a good life, maybe in some other realm, in the realm that y'all didn't choose. So maybe tonight we're gonna see the nice happy ending. I don't know.
Yeah.
We will see. But let's take a look here, Eduardo, right? We're gonna take a look at the character profiles.
Yeah, of course. I mean, production team's gonna throw that right up. And Noah, you talked about it. You're the one who's gonna talk about the Carl's character profile to our audience.
Right. So, okay. So Carl here, he has strong redemption and positive hope. His top decision was, what will Carl tell the police about Ingrid's death, which was blame the man in the window, which is damnation. We all love our smiling old Carl. The most heated decision was, what will Carl use to protect his family? And then it was the runes to ward off the evil, which was suffering. And cameras, it won over cameras to catch the vandals, which was the redemption option.
Yeah. What, you know, there are two important things here, right? Carl's on the redemption arc, but like some of those most heated top decisions actually were not redemption choices, especially the one about blaming the man in the window. That was actually the one with the most early audience attention. And it's because it makes sense to blame the person in the window, but you see that consequence being damnation because, you know, smiling Carl now makes that look a little bit different, right? Now we have a little more context. And you know, when the man in the window is smiling Carl, who's Carl accusing, essentially?
Right. I'm talking to the man in the window. Anyway, I'm sorry for that. But I really, really do apologize. But I love, you know, smiling Carl really does explain some things. And mostly, you know, I kind of bought into his delusions, and I'm thinking he's just unwell.
Yeah. No, I mean, Carl has a pretty, like, Carl is a kind of, I don't, like, he's a character who has to deal with kind of balance, right? The balance from the family. And he's very much, right, you have the matriarch who's passed away, but then you have the patriarch, Carl, and he's trying to figure things out, right? He's trying to figure out essentially what he's lived through and what's currently being lived through, right? Because we haven't talked about Orson in a while. Where's Orson? Right. And Astrid's trying to find it, trying to deal with other stuff. So like Carl's kind of stuck in between this position of the past and the present. But now, you know, what is going to happen as a result? By the way, so funny story for our audience. So one of the things, right, is we plan these shows and we make sure that like we have a bit of time for each section. It's important for us. So if you're familiar with how this works, right, we make sure. So tonight is very much about Carl. Now I'm going to go a little bit off here because the suffering options just jettison to the front. Like I just saw that jump. Like, so now it's winning, and there's like a redemption rally to try to get that to win currently. Like the suffering option was like dead last, and now it's first. Not like by a lot, but like clearly first. So Noah, we might have a surprise outcome tonight.
I am shook. I am shook. You know, we have our suffering people here in the audience that are rallying right now. It's very exciting. And I hear maybe I was a little bit blurry, but I still loved you even when I was. But now I'm back. Anyway,
it's just it's just you love like retro style stuff, right? Like the old CRT. So you need to share that love with the audience. That's all.
Exactly. I love me a VHS. But anyways, suffering is rallying right now. This is happening. We might see a horrible fate here. You know what's gonna end up. It might be horrible things too.
So the funny part, right, is like there's a strategic. So I've heard about a strategy, right, from the audience. The audience like, oh, we're strategically gonna rally suffering because no one goes into that anyways. So that way we can block it. So the option we want to see wins. Well, that backfired for the people of you. For those of you who wanted that backfired horribly. Now, of course, it's really between Redemption's now edged up, right, because there was a rally that's going to end soon. So Redemption's a bit ahead of Suffering. But now Damnation and Redemption were the options, with Redemption a bit ahead, and now it's between Redemption and Suffering. It's actually really close. So honestly, it's down to the wire. You got 7 minutes, the audience here, to get that final fate decision down. Of course, the scenes are going to play out soon. We're a couple of minutes away from the show, right? So make sure to get that in now, because there's really only so much time, right? Like the thing is, the show's so soon, we're going to have to talk to you about the endurance scenes. So here's the thing. Noah, you're going to describe the endurance scenes to our audience. We're going to warm them up. But so you know, Carl's final fate's what you need to also focus on here.
Okay, everybody, pay attention. So when the endurance scene starts, you will have time. You will have to time your inputs to the actions that you see on screen to help our character. So collective success means that the character's hope will rise. Otherwise, it will fall. So if a character fails enough endurance scenes, as we saw in the past, they may not survive future encounters, leading to their permanent death in the story. So these endurance scenes are one of the best places to earn large amounts of influence points. Remember, success and failure, that's part of the collective story. So it's not individual judgment. We are here together in this, and it's just like, that's how it goes, you know?
No, for sure, Noah. And again, when we talked about it, Toby and Carl, that was essentially their difference, right? They're both on redemption paths. However, one has high hope, the other did not. Now, one of the little things, by the way, something that's actually important for our audience, for you, all of you who partake day after day. The thing is, during last night's endurance scene, some audience members had display bugs with our UI that prevented them in taking part. So that might have been you. Our team is working to fix that. We know it's an issue getting that fixed. But Noah.
Right. So we are starting the show real soon. So Eduardo, we had a lot going on. Can you recap for us?
Sure. First, I want to recap that Kazakun is on 100 days login streak. Good stuff. Now, that said, in less than 2 minutes, the show's going to stop. We talked about Carla. There's a few other scenes. You're going to have a delightful set tonight, for sure. It's not just all Carl all the time. For those of you who did want to see kind of our action in Pennsylvania, you will get some of that. Not really a spoiler, trust me. We have Norway in Pennsylvania. Expect some Pennsylvania. But the result of Carl's final fate is going to be tonight. You're also going to see the result of kind of that secondary decision. Where will Rachel have Faith sleep? Which is kind of neck and neck between Redemption and Damnation. So it's kind of interesting seeing which one is going to get there. Now, as a reminder, myself, I'll be back. Noah's leaving us for now. I'll be back essentially in the post show. I'll be alone for a little bit for a minute or two to describe the scenes that happen. And then Jacob will join us for a little bit of a unusual special surprise. So that said, please do enjoy the show. We're going to sign off for now. It's going to be one for the ages. So this was Eduardo here with Noah saying bye.